Hey everybody, this is Dustin on Gaming, doing a little bit of Standard tonight. I wanted to get into some Esper or Sultai control, but those cards seem to be very popular right now, particularly Vraska's Contempt and Watery Graves. So for right now, we're going to have to settle for playing the blue-red variants. This is a deck that went 9-0 in this past weekend's PTQ. This is obviously the first big weekend of Standard in post-rotation in terms of big events, the Star City Games Classic, the PTQ, so only really a couple weeks of data for people to work with. There's been various control flavors. There's been Dimir deck we've played, there's been Esper control, there's been blue-white control, there's been Izzet control, there's been this list similar to this Jeskai control list. Let's see, there's been Selesnya tokens, Golgari midrange, Sultai midrange, a lot of various Boros decks, anything from a Boros Aggro deck to Boros Angels to so many other various cards. This particular list is somewhat a take on No Win Con blue-white of past Standard season, but yet a little bit different. So this list is utilizing, the blue-white of Teferi, counter spells, removal spells. Also using Expansion Explosion. Expansion allows you to copy a card converted mana cost 4 or less. So you can copy your Deafening Clarions, your Chemist's Insights, your Settle the Wreckages, various things. You've got some counter spells here to kind of keep things under control. Beyond that, you're trying to use Azur's Gateway to loot away cards until you can flip it. And then, once you flipped his Sanctum of the Sun, as long as you're still at a fairly decent life total between Azur's Gateway, Teferi, and Explosions, since Explosion is an instant, usually you try to use that to burn your opponent out from even a fairly high life total. So, deals X damage to any target player draws X cards. Pretty powerful stuff. Even if you can only do this for 3 or 4 on the end step, it still can be a pretty big swing. Kill a creature, draw 4 cards. It's quite a lot of card draw. My only concern with this deck is kind of the conditional thing of the removal. Obviously, Clarion can't kill big creatures unless you double it up with Expansion. Settle the Wreckage can only kill creatures that attack, and then relying on Azur's Gateway. If your opponent has any way to blow up artifacts in their deck, it could be a little bit problematic, because you do have to get, 5 cards of different converted mana costs, which you have 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 1s, I guess, theoretically. And then beyond that, you have the Teferi, kind of control the game kind of stuff. So Search for Scant is not in the main deck because you have the Azur's Gateway looting effects. So those are in the sideboard. And then the sideboard obviously has access to more win cons. You have access to History of Benelias and Lyras to come in against the red decks. Also can come in against other control decks. Banefire in the same thing. Essence Scatter when you're facing a bunch of creatures. Negates when you need to counter non-creature spells like Planeswalkers and such. Cleansing Nova when you need more hard sweepers. And then Search for Azcanta when you're playing card advantage battles. So this is a little bit different take of control than I'm used to playing. Obviously, we've played several different types of control already. Most of the control decks have been pretty fun. I've really enjoyed both the Dimir list and the Izzet list. Not much, War Dog. How you doing tonight? Like I said, I really wanted to get into the Esper control list tonight that Jose sent us, but I could not get the Vraska's Contempts or the Watery Graves tonight, so we're just going to roll with the Jeskai control list for a couple matches, see how it plays out, and then kind of go from there. So, been a couple days since we've streamed because of school and work, so I figured I'd give things a spin, see how they went. Like I said, I don't like streaming this time of night because I'm interfering with potentially... What's up, Brennan? How you doing? I don't usually like streaming this time of night when sideboards... I honestly don't know. This is probably because This is more of a combo control deck than an actual control deck, so you're not too worried about the incidental. Might be better on the mana. I'm not really sure, James. This is the list that went undefeated in the Swiss of the PPTQ. So I'm just kind of rolling with whatever that deck list was. I don't tend to mess with deck lists until I've kind of played the deck myself. But this almost feels more like a... guess we should take a look at the mana base while we're waiting on our opponent to mulligan. Yeah, it does look like... Well, I mean, there's only like 11 red sources, so maybe it's better. But there's a ton of blue sources in this deck, so... I think we got a bottom to Fairy for right now. We're really looking for more lands at this point, more than anything. So, okay. Definitely want to hold up Syncope here for certain annoying cards. Maybe if you look at how this mana base is slanted, though, it looks like it's more slanted towards having access to blue sources. So, kind of hoping our opponent deploys more crap into this. Oh, this Deafening Clarion's definitely getting cast next turn. Please don't have duress. I'll Stitcher Supplier. Like I said, though, this is not a list that I'm Izoni. Kind of sucks that we're going to kind of set up our opponent a little bit here, but I don't think I can pass up the chance to get a 4-for-1 here. Plus it sets our opponent's mana way back. Branch Walker, sure. This is a different style of deck, War Dog. This is more of a control combo deck than it is like traditional win con stuff. I'm just gonna play the Azor's Gateway here and then hold up Syncopate, and I might activate Gateway at end of turn here. A lot of Stitcher Suppliers. It's possible I should have syncopated that Stitcher Supplier there. Card am I pitching here? I feel like it's just Expansion Explosion. Don't know what the... I guess the mana cost on that's 6. Definitely pitching the Azor's Gateway here. But we can hit a land drop. Play the... another Deafening Clarion. Memorial to Foley is a little concerning, but 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I just loot away a land here? Yeah, this deck feels more like a... It's definitely a departure from some of the other lists. Like, a lot of the other lists I saw were like, were more focused on Teferi or Niv Mizzet or such. I took this list, besides the fact that it went 9-0, I took it because it seemed like what this list is doing is unique enough to not good. Looting away a land here isn't the greatest, but I think Do I just do a sabotage here? Alright, so right now I have a 2, a 6. Might just be a sabotage here. And then I'm 1 card off of doing what I need to do. I can always insight at the end of turn. Hoping they're just activating the folly here. Chamber Century. I don't think I'm supposed to care about this. Alright, so next turn we get to flip. Ooh, Nelly. Can I just kill them this turn? I think we might actually have lethal this turn. How does that... Draw a card. Alright, well. I think we might just have lethal this turn. I'm going to pass and do it during their turn, though. Simply because I don't want to discard cards. Wait a sec. Why did I gain life? Oh, I gained 5 life. Alright. Blue mana. Red. This is kind of dumb. Alright. Well, I have no idea what to say. That was kind of silly. Alright, so... War Dog, what cards does your deck not want to see? Well, to be fair, our opponent also wasn't putting us under a ton of pressure either. So... So I figure our opponent's probably going to have some amount of Duresses and Assassin's Trophies. That was a major oof. Yeah, that was admittedly pretty sweet. I think... Yeah, especially since I've never seen this particular deck either. So just to watch my opponent get lit. So let me get this straight. Turn 8, you're dealing me 24, and you're drawing 24 cards. Okay. And what's really silly is we can deck them with this card too, because they're milling themselves so much. So... Go full 8-man. Been playing 12 bolt. Yeah, 12 bolts and... Alright, so... I think I'm going to board down the combo a little bit. Board in, like, a couple of Search for Azcantas. Board out... Maybe, like, a Sabotage... For... A Sabotage and a Syncopate for a couple Essence Scatters. Because a lot of their strategy is based around creatures, and then I don't know. Maybe I want to bring in a Lyra or two over like a Teferi. Just try it like that. Because there's likely that they're going to be going somewhat anti-controlling here, so I want to kind of diversify my threat and win con base. Yeah, I know sweepers aren't quite as good, but I still think Clarion's worth it, and I think Settle the Wreckage is enough of an annoyance for them. What is the deck, Wardog? What is the deck entirely trying to do? Like, I don't completely understand what the end game of the this deck is trying to do exactly. Oh, well, Lotless Giant's certainly a card. No, this is not Space Marines list. This is a list that went the top 8 of the online PTQ this past weekend. This feels like a game we're probably going to lose pretty easily. Yeah, a few too many tap lands. That, and honestly, we don't really have a ton going on right now. Need to draw, like, Red Source plus Clarion. Five-drop Reanimator. I don't even know what they take here, honestly. Like, our hands, I guess they would take, Chemister's Insight or Sinister Sabotage? Maybe Sabotage if they're trying to set up something. Take Seal away. Interesting. Taking a hit for 3 here. It's gonna pass here. All we have is this measly counterspell. Yeah, I'm not terribly familiar with it myself, Wardog, so I'm just kind of winging some spells and kind of hoping and praying here. Well then. Don't think we're winning this game. It's going alright, Isabel. We comboed out game 1, and then, this is game 2, and our opponent's got a pretty decent anti-control package going. So, that and we hit way too many tap lands. So we're taking a hit for 5 here. I don't know, ask Wardog, he plays the deck. I think we're supposed to counter that one, right? well then. I think my opponent will know something is up. I probably misplayed this. Probably should have just jammed Lyra and been done with it. Because I think my opponent's going to suspect we're on Settle the Wreckage at the moment. They found a booter or a whatchamacallit here. See how much they pelly around Settle the Wreckage. Okay, apparently not at all. Why would you walk face first into a Settle the Wreckage like that? I guess because you're getting a bunch of lands and you already have the draw engine out. Just felt like if we jammed Lyra there, that we just get hit with a some type of So am I just supposed to jam Teferi here, or am I just supposed to jam Lyra and Hope? How much removal do they play, Wardog? Because I almost think I'm just supposed to jam Lyra and pray. Because it doesn't feel like we're going to win a truly long game here. I got a free or on top. Yeah, they're probably going to take the seal away here, which is fine, I guess. They may have to take Insight or Teferi, actually. It's possible I should have looted there. Take a seal away, okay. Okay, that card's kind of scary. Especially since we're at 2 life here. Another Azor's Gateway. Cause of us at 3, it's a little scary. Problem is, I don't think we can afford to attack with Lyra here, can we? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're dead? So, just kind of hoping and wishing and praying here. That said, if we draw a Deafening Clarion and a red source, definitely in some awkward spots here. Alright, there's a Settle the Wreckage. Would have much preferred to have drawn a Clarion, though. Okay, I can't go any lower. Alright, apparently they didn't find what they were looking for. And they were just dead, so. Alright. Still feels like the control decks are behind in the post-board games. Three of the non-legendary. Yeah, I definitely agree there. I think this one's a keep. Man, it's a lot better than it was in... Oh, stupid phone. 1 second. Sorry about that. One check something on my phone and it decided to play a video. Looks like we're up against possibly Demir or Esper? Resolve the gateway. Yeah, I definitely agree the opponent shouldn't have attacked that hard and settle. They maybe should have sent like 2 citrus suppliers and the one, whatever it was. Field of Ruin's cute, but... Oh, this is going to be a rough matchup. Guess I pitch Seal away. This is definitely going to be a rough matchup. Already seen how powerful Disinformation Campaign is against control decks. Gruesome Menagerie. Alright. Good to know. Could have played the island there to hold up activation plus Sinister Sabotage. Okay, gotcha. Not anytime soon, unfortunately. Gotta try to counter this, but there's a good chance our opponents either got a counter back or some type of nonsense here. Feels like this is a losing game. Oh, it's legendary. Let's go ahead and go to the next game. Alright, so definitely want Banefire. Definitely want Search for his Cantos. We definitely want Negate. Because I didn't remember it was legendary, Jan. It's the first time in a very long time I've played an Azur's Gateway deck. So these Clarions aren't great. Settle the Wreckages aren't fantastic. Steal the Way is kind of nonsense to a certain degree. We're down a little bit of the combo here. Yeah, that's why I'm trying not to go down to all of my removal, but I could definitely have to go down some of it. Um, hmm. Oh, I'm sure they'll bring it in. It's just their main game plan we already have a hard enough time beating is the problem. Yeah, I guess we keep. We just have a hard time beating their disinformation campaign recycling stuff. It's one of those that if that Demir or... Oh yeah, I know they have those. Like, that's why I didn't board out all of my removal. But like Doom Whisperer, as long as you can hold counterspells in your hand, isn't usually as big of a threat. It's the disinformation campaign nonsense that becomes a problem. Oh, it's definitely not a good matchup. I've played the other side of the equation against a blue blaze control deck, and it felt like an absolutely miserable matchup. Surprised they're running this headfirst into a counterspell here. That's why I went a little more, What? Wow. Alright. Everyone's got their own spin on things, I guess. Guessing this is a Thief of Sanity. Yep. Hopefully we get to the graveyard. Hopefully we get to hit a land here and just jam this Teferi. Say hello to my Teferi friend. Feels like another Thief of Sanity. I think we're just going to Banefire this puppy. Well, they definitely brought him in. I don't want to waste my Banefire on this thing, but at the same time, we just gotta get it dead. Oh, I definitely needed to kill it. I'm not letting my opponent have that kind of card advantage. I was just thinking about leaving up Settle the Wreckage, but Settle the Wreckage doesn't do enough in that situation. At least they errated Teferi. Maybe they don't have a Vraska's Contempt here. That's kind of bazzalzy. I think I just let Notion Rain resolve here. I guess I deploy History here, start putting some pressure on them. I don't want them to know we have Lyra. Hey, it's in the sideboard, I'm going to use it. Especially since if I get to protect my Teferi through this turn, we get to ultimate Teferi, and then the game's pretty much over. Sure. I don't care. Yeah, I think I would have too, honestly. Actually, no, I don't want to do this right now. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 4, 8, 9, 4, 6, I need 9 mana total, so I'm going to have to pitch something else here. At least we know this can't be disallowed anymore. I guess I'm pitching Settle the Wreckage here. How's this worded? Copy Instant Sorcery. Alright, so I want to pitch this. Yeah, that's fine. Cast targeting that. Blue, blue. That. Get rid of that, because they're just going to pop Memorial to Folly if I target it here. Now they have to float mana, they do not, so now we can target the Folly. Surprised they haven't scooped yet. I still don't want to show them Lyra if at all possible. Alright, sweet. We don't have to show them Lyra. Alright, so that was pretty fun. So we know they're going to have more of Monkey See, Monkey Do, Thief of Sanity there. What do I bring in? Syncopates are fine. Do I bring in Essence Scatters? Now that I bring an Essence Scatter there. Maybe I cut a Sabotage for like an Essence Scatter or a Seal Away here. It's kind of the plan to go on there. Yeah, sand seems reasonable. Like our one weakness obviously is the Thief of Sanity. If our opponent goes like discard spell into it. And the fact that we only have one counter spell means we're kind of vulnerable to like multiple stuff of our opponents here. Normally I'd run out the Gateway, but obviously they can start jamming Thieves of Sanities, and we don't have too many answers in our deck to stuff, so they're just going to not play into anything. Alright, I mean... I can't risk letting it resolve, so I just gotta pass. I think being on the player draw is actually really relevant in these stupid matchups, which is kind of dumb. Fell Spectre. Target player discards a card. Player discards a card. I took one settle out. I still have two settles in. I have two Settle and two Seal Away in the deck right now. Do I counter this, or do I just let it be for right now? Yeah, not only will it keep draining me, it also keeps me from playing anything relevant here. Question is, do I play History of Benalia, or do I play Search and Azor's Gateway here? I think I play Search and Azor's Gateway. Obviously, our opponent's going to get to resolve something here. Worst case scenario, can probably Teferi it. Okay, I fell Spectre. I guess I'm pitching Chemister's Insight here. Yeah, I don't think it's a particularly good card, but it does pair with what our opponent's trying to do. Guess I just tuck the stupid thing. Like I said, I hate playing tap-out control against a deck that has so many threats we have trouble answering. So one of the things I don't like about the Jeskai setup is the lack of actual hard removal spells. Like, if I'd run Azur's Gateway, I'd almost want to run, Grixis. I don't know that Teferi is necessarily worth the, Okay. What am I pitching here? Probably Syncopate. Yeah, Rao might be a consideration. Two, three, four, five. Fell Spectre. Just get rid of the gateway here. Seal away is fine, but kind of annoying at the same time. Pass here. Don't think our opponent's playing the actual full-powered blue-black deck. I think they're playing a slightly budget version. Just guessing from some of their choices and such. Raider's Wake. Well, we are just in the practice room here, so, you know, it's not like we're playing the top tier decks, or necessarily playing against top tier decks right now. Does our opponent know about the seal away? They do now. I think the odds are very high that my opponent has Wrath in their deck. So I'm going to put you to the test. Can you answer a Lyra and 2 Knights and a Teferi that can answer any creature you might play? Okay. So... Sure. Trying to think what... I haven't really played enough of any of the decks to know which one's my favorite yet. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... That's game. Nope, we're actually missing our second red source here. That's obnoxious. Should have paid attention to my mana situation before I decided which card I was taking. Yeah, that'll do, pig, that'll do. I could have if I had a second red source, but I didn't have a second red source. But we lucked out in Banefire and were able to close out the game. What's up, Doyle? How you doing this morning? This evening, whatever it is. Yeah, if I would have had a second red source, I certainly would have just jammed Explosion and killed him there. So far I've liked the blue-red Niv Mizzet control was pretty interesting. I haven't actually played like the Teferi Niv Mizzet Ralzeric build, so I don't really have an opinion yet. This version seemed pretty sweet. It's definitely got some interesting play lines. I haven't had a chance to play Esper yet. The Dimir Surveil control deck seems pretty sweet. The actual Disinformation Campaign, Thought Erasure, Doom Whisper, that deck seems pretty sweet. So there's a lot of play to the control decks in this format. So far, the ones I've played, I've liked them all, but I haven't got around to playing them all yet, so I don't have a completely informed opinion yet, Valentine. So, in paper, I'm going to have Esper, but that's because that's more holdover cards from last standard season. But, yeah, it's pretty much where things are at right now. That said, I'm pretty tired here. I've been up since 3 a.m., so I wanted to do a short stream tonight. I'll definitely be streaming some more tomorrow during the day on my day off. So, I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Wanted to get a couple games in with this Jeskai control list. Like I said, I really wanted to stream Jose's Esper list, but Mana Traders was out of Watery Graves and Vraska's Contempts because everybody likes playing black in this format. So, pretty much the Boros and Jeskai decks were available, so played one of the Jeskai decks. So, I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. Hope everyone has a great evening, or great early morning, such as the case. Yeah, and there are certain things you can only answer with white. Hey, no problem, Valentine. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to Doyle, thanks Jankovic, thanks James. Thanks War Dog, everybody that checked in tonight. So, been great hanging out with you guys. It's part of the reason I do this. So, hope to catch you all later. This has been Dusk for Dusted On Gaming.